Welcome to another episode of Wifey Wednesdays. Today we're going to look at the Organized Play program, along with my journey so far through Flesh and Blood. Today, join me in my living room in front of my fireplace because I had mosquitoes the size of my hand try to carry me off earlier. I am newer to Flesh and Blood and I have only done a handful of events. I am currently doing an event with my husband that is on our YouTube channel that is a journey through Flesh and Blood. So it's allowing us to start at the very beginning, going through every single release there was, and learning the cards, learning the heroes, and how to play. I think that has benefited me astronomically when it came to understanding other events like the sealed events and some of the booster drafts I've done. So far, I have participated in pre-releases, on-demand events, some side events when we went to the Calling in Orlando, and then also side events when we went to the Pro Tour in New Jersey. My long-term goal would be to actually compete in the Calling and potentially place, but I don't know that I would be a good person to compete professionally long-term. I haven't learned the game enough yet. I haven't been exposed to enough different techniques and understandings. The rules get me confused a lot, but that's okay because I'm new and that's what my journey is all about, is learning. So as a new Flesh and Blood player, I have to say I was very confused when I'm on like Twitter and social media and trying to understand some of the events that are coming up. And I took a deeper dive this week. I wanted to understand the events because these events all have different names and they all do different things. And I didn't realize until I found the Organized Play program chart. So in this chart, there's actually 4 tiers, tier 1 through 4, and it explains how you start at the very beginning and work your way all the way up to Worlds and Pro. So in tier 1, you have the more common events that a lot of people in FAB play at, including apparently my poodle. And in tier 1, it holds the on-demand events, the report your own events. Then they have the armory events, which are at your local game shop, and they happen at least usually once a week. And then you also have skirmish. Skirmish is one of the newer ones that I'm trying to see some footage on and get a better understanding of, but it's my understanding that it's still just a lower level open entry to anyone where you start at in the Flesh and Blood world. Then you have tier 2. Tier 2 is where we're starting to move up. So you're starting to do really good in the armory events. You're usually winning some prizes and you're like, all right, I want to do more. This is where we get to tier 2. The first part of tier 2 is going to be a pro quest. Pro quests take place at local gaming stores, and it is your way to fight for an invitation to a pro event in the future. After that, the next one is going to be Road to Nationals, which I believe is going on right now across the world. You can have them at, my understanding is you can actually have them at local game stores. The game stores or FAB themselves get to choose the format, so it's not always going to be Classic Constructed, which I'm super excited about because I haven't yet explored being able to create my complete own deck before in Classic Constructed, so I'm excited about that. And the third in tier 2 is Battle Hardened, and I know that's going on as well across the world right now. I have never been to a Battle Hardened, nor have I seen one, but this is where competitive play starts. The cool thing is when you do win in any of these events, you get an invite like a PTI, which is a Pro Tour invite, but it never expires, so you can use it whenever you want to use it. And the dogs strike again. So next we're going to go to tier 3. Tier 3 is where the big dogs are sitting right now, trying to figure out what's about to happen starting in the fall. So first thing is the national championships. It's per country. There's only one per year. Each country has it, and then it's invite only. So you have to have an invite to that event. This year for the United States, it's September 23rd to the 25th, and it's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Looking forward to that, as it is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from where we're at. We can take a road trip. If you manage to get a top 4 placement in the Road to Nationals events, then you actually get an invite to the National Championship event. If you win a national championship or you place, it's my understanding, you get invites to Pro Tour, and then you also can, or you get an invite to Worlds. And Tier 3 is also the Calling, which we have attended in Orlando, and we got to see it in New Jersey as well. We did not participate in either one of those, but it is open entry most of the time. It is consistently been classic constructed. Multiple players, spans an entire weekend, so it's not just one day, it's multiple days. And that also will gain you invitations to Worlds and Pro Tours. So the last and final tier is tier number 4. That is where we get to see everything collide. We get Pro Tour and we get Worlds. The first one's going to be Pro Tour. The first ever Pro Tour was held in New Jersey earlier this year, and it was awesome and amazing. They do have side events going on during the Pro Tour, so that's fun. You can go and enjoy the Pro Tour even if you're not playing in it. It is invite only, and it's held over the entire weekend. The prizes apparently are amazing. I don't foresee myself ever going to pro, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm always going to try. I'll always give it my best shot. And then finally, Worlds. The first ever World Championship will be held this year. It's going to be held in November in San Jose, California, November 4th through the 6th. We expect more information to be coming out about this on Friday the 15th, so just like 2 days from now when you see this video. And hopefully they'll give us more information, like are there going to be any side events or anything else going on, which actual convention center they decided to use, so it'll tell us where it's located inside of San Jose. And then also the cool thing is if you're flying into Los Angeles or San Francisco, you can fly in a day or two early and kind of enjoy the sights and actually roam about. If you go into San Francisco, they actually have a train that'll take you, public transit, from San Francisco into San Jose. And most everything is walking distance from there. It's our understanding that Worlds is an invite-only situation, and it does span the entire weekend as well. So right now, I've only done basically Tier 1 events, and I'm okay with that. I want to get better at my Tier 1 events before I even think about moving to Tier 2. And the biggest part of that is I want to regularly start attending some armory events so I can actually understand how to compete against others, because there are some really good competitors out there in the armories that can help you be prepared for larger things like Battle Hardened. Thank you for joining me in my living room. Check back next week for more Wifey Wednesdays. Can't wait to see you then.